Mr. Transformers 96 here from the video, and I'm going to be talking about some newly shown Hot Toys images. And although we don't have the full 100% reveals quite yet, we do have some preview images from two Wandavision figures, being the Scarlet Witch and Vision. So this is very exciting. They announced that they were going to do WandaVision figures at the start of the WandaVision premiere, and they haven't revealed anything until now, getting the preview shots for a few of their figures after the show's already done. I understand to some degree. Vision, though, he could have been shown a long time ago, so it's annoying that we've got such a delay before finally seeing them. But now that we are finally seeing them, definitely want to go over some of my initial thoughts once these are officially shown, which I'm hoping will be tonight, so maybe tomorrow we can do like a full breakdown of all the images and the pre-order details. But at least for what we have right now, let's talk about it a bit. So starting off with just the one I'm going to talk about the least here is Vision. So Vision hasn't had a figure since Age of Ultron. The Age of Ultron Vision I did purchase, ended up selling eventually, and I was okay selling it. However, with this WandaVision show, I've always liked Vision. I've never, disliked him or anything like that, but in this show, I found to really like him. My love for that character really grew with this show, so it makes me really want this Vision, even though I had and previously sold the other one, but this one definitely makes me kind of want it, so I might end up getting it. My only issue with the original Vision was the fact that his colors I thought were a little off. He was super bright metallic pink, and I didn't quite think that matched the movie completely. It's hard to tell if they've gone any darker with this one. It still looks pretty bright. The green looks a little darker, but the pink, which is the thing that I had the most issues with, still looks just as bright, but we'll have to see. Overall, the figure looks very similar to the previous version, though. Same cape, I'm almost 100% sure on that. I believe that the body underneath is different, though. The thighs look a little bulkier, the muscles look more defined, and then the line work within the costumes looks a little bit different, especially in the chest. So I believe that those are the main differences. Overall, though, very similar to the original figure. Now, the one that we all are interested in is a Scarlet Witch, of course, which is very fun to say Scarlet Witch, after referring to her as Wanda for so long. This figure, I have serious mixed feelings about. First of all, when the finale aired, I was like, oh my god, cannot wait for Hot Toys to make that final costume Scarlet Witch. It's a must-have. And seeing the figure is a little disappointing, to be honest. There's some parts of it that I really like, but some of the aspects that I was looking forward to, they didn't do. And just going into that with a little comparison here of shots from the show, I usually, when it comes to the hair sculpts on Hot Toys figures, for most of their male sculpts, anybody with short hair, they sculpt the hair. For anybody with long hair, so particularly the female figures, they have like actual fabric, frizzy type of hair. And I usually am not a fan of that style, mainly because it does get frizzy. I feel like it never stays just perfectly still. No matter how little I do with it, I find that it still gets a little frizz, which is annoying. However, when I was watching this episode, I was like, this is perfect. She's got kind of like large frizzy hair, so if the Hot Toys version gets a little frizzy, it's going to look great. It's totally fine. So I was like, I cannot wait. For once in my life, I'm actually excited for a real kind of fabric hair sculpt from Hot Toys. And it's the one time that they did a long hair sculpt that's actually just sculpted, and I couldn't believe it. It's super disappointing. As you can see, I don't think that it really represents her hair very well. They have a bit of the swirl there, but it doesn't have that curly, frizzy look like it did in the show very clearly. And that's just disappointing because it's such an easy fix, and it's something that they usually do. So that's what makes it really annoying, is that it's so out of the norm for them not to do it, and this is the perfect one to do it on, so it just doesn't make any sense, unfortunately. Also, I much prefer her without the cape. I want her to have the cape, because obviously she wears it at the very end of the film, or the show, but I like her look without the cape more. I think that she looks a lot better. I like this collar piece. I think it looks really neat, and with the cape, it hides it, unfortunately. So I want her to have the cape, but I want it to be removable, and from the way that it looks, the way that this piece kind of really really swoops down almost like under the armpits there. I don't think it is going to be removable unless like the entire thing is a magnet section, but I seriously doubt that. So I'm hoping that it is removable. That would be great. And once we get all the pictures, you know, if it is removable, I'm sure we'll get a shot of it like that. But my fingers are really crossed because I really like her look with no cape, and being, you know, full visibility on the collar piece. I think that looks awesome. So fingers crossed for that. The rest of the figure I like, though. I think that the overall sculpt and design of the costume is very cool. I think that it's, you know, it's a bit wrinkly in here. I don't quite know why that's the case. It doesn't look as smooth as the actual shots in the film. It might just be the position, though, of these photos. And overall, I'm happy with the face sculpt. I think it's decent. It's not fantastic, but I think it's pretty solid, so I don't really have much of an issue with it. Maybe I could have wanted the headpiece to be a little bit darker. I feel like the overall costume is slightly more red. You know, like in the film, it was very burgundy with, you know, some red, like the rubber piece in the center here, that's much more red than the side pieces, and I feel like they made this head piece a little bit redder than it should be. I'd like a little bit darker, a little bit more burgundy. But overall, I think that the design of the costume is really good. Just personal preference, I like it without the cape more, and they did it with the cape, and then the hair is the big issue for me, and something that I don't understand why they did that. So that's a little disappointing, to be honest. I feel like this could have been a perfect figure very easily. So I think that that's the thing that really bugs me, is that it's so easily fixed, and unfortunately it's not. And it makes it just even worse for the fact that usually I would have preferred this with the sculpted hair. This is like the one exception where I was looking forward to the fact that it wouldn't be sculpted, and then that's the one time that they did it. So that's kind of a kick in the teeth there. But there you go. That's my kind of thoughts on the WandaVision Scarlet Witch and Vision Hot Toys figures so far. They've shown us basically 3 photos of Scarlet Witch and 2 photos of Vision. So again, hopefully in the very near future, we'll get the full reveals and all of their pre-order details. And once that happens, I'll make an update to go over everything in general and see what they all come with. But there you go. That's my thoughts on these new WandaVision Hot Toys figures. Let me know what you guys think of them, and thanks so much for watching.